got buffed. So perhaps that's one of the reasons, like why an Alchemist is in the game. It's, you know, like some Radiance. I hear some talk on the street that Radiance is...
on the streets?
Yeah, Radiance is popular again. So perhaps that's why it's picked. Like overall, if you they discussed how Doom cannot really have an impact this game versus the Lash versus the Alchemist once he pops his ulti. So that's also partly the reason. I'm just wondering how easy will it be for Giant Boris to be a Giant Undying on this lane. Like a lot of decay stacks are gonna be happening on that lane.
We'll see. I mean, he had a decent laning stage last time around, but obviously a pretty rough game afterwards. So we'll see.
Yeah, last game they got that first blood on the IO.
Speed. Speaking of rough games, Speed already getting caught out, but does have the onslaught away. He's going to be just fine, losing about half his HP. Speaking of Speed, our panel was talking about how his DK had 0 impact, and they're happy to see the Primal Beast coming out here for the man. Do you agree? Do you feel like Speed on this Primal Beast will have more impact going into Game 2?
Yeah, we'll see. The lane can be extremely volatile. Like you're playing into an SF. Like there are ways for you and Rubik to kill him off, right? Get on top of him, kill him. At the same time, you're playing into a Tusk and SF. If you trample in, if you make a wrong call, if you run in, you eat 3 raises to the face, like you can be feeding here as well.
Absolutely. Because you're looking at that mid lane right now, you're going to have Gunnar on the Ember once again against Red. So the exact same matchup here between the Leshrac and the Ember. Of course, last game around, Red had a very good laning stage, just completely dominating for most of the game in terms of that net worth graph.
Yeah, so this time he should throw the lane. Throw the lane, win the game.
Right. Well, there you go. Well, we'll see what Red does get done here in the mid lane. Gunnar, I wonder like whether he switches things up here on the Ember. I mean, he obviously had a very strong game himself after the laning stage, but do you think he changes anything for the lane at the very least?
Yeah, he hits a couple of extra last hits under the tower. He already changed that, right? Like in the last game, he was missing a couple. It happens to everyone. Tier 1 player, 1K MMR player.
Same thing.
Everyone misses last hits. It's just a degree, you know?
Yeah. I mean, MMR is just a number at the end of the day.
At the end of the day, exactly.
Yeah. How's the side lanes going? You've got top lane, of course. Moo's going to be there on the Doom. He's going to be against DNM, of course, Giant, and we'll have the support of Husky on the IO. You talked about Giant having a decent laning stage considering how much strength he can steal. For now, though, they are just pulling the creep wave away. And well, Giant, he might be able to harass Moo quite heavily here, getting some body blocks off. Hands up, though, Moo, just going to walk away.
Hands up? Yeah, because that's what you do to an Undying. You just skip the waves. You skip the waves, you run around the tower, you take those creep waves back. But, you know, when you do that, you're not contesting with the carry. You're not messing with the Alchemist at all. DNM is once again having the freest time of his life. And I think it's a bit different. Like that last game, when you're a TB, like you can join the fights, but if your team is suffering, you don't really make a huge difference.
Right.
In this game, if you're an Alchemist and you get your items on time, like you can be a beast very early on. So
Giant is getting constantly slowed up here. Husky with some great body blocks on the Undying. Still does have quite a bit of decay stacks being made now. 24 strength being stolen away. They'll turn back onto Husky, and well, sadly for the side of Nouns, they just didn't have the damage output to take down the Undying, but they do have the damage for his courier. They'll at least get that. Because we are going to have a pause coming out. And Lizard, I wanted to ask you a question.
Always ask me any question.
People have been commenting about this, the creep waves being pulled away, as we just saw with Moo. When 7.33 comes out next year, do you feel like the pulling thing with the creep wave should be kind of nerfed, maybe?
No.
No? You like it?
No. I think it should remain the same way it is right now. It's been nerfed already. Back in my day, I remember when you would walk around the tier 2 tower for like 3 minutes, stack up 5 waves for yourself, and then go onto the lane, farm them all up. You know, right now, we found a compromise.
Right.
You can't pull them before the tier 1 tower. You pull them over there.
Well, bottom lane, First Blood's going to be drawn Speed, able to pick up Lilith there on the Primal Beast, so a nice pickup here for the side of 5RAT. Meanwhile, top lane, Moo's going to be chased down, but Husky is there to try and protect. Still, the stun is going to land from DNM. They'll drop the Tombstone as well, but it's not going to matter. Husky, he'll just try to farm that up. Along with Moo, they will be able to secure Giant unable to get the deny off on the tombstone. And you say back in your day that that you used to stack those up. Wasn't that Eternal Envy that started that? With the Bristleback, he used to just pull all the creep waves over into the mid lane and just farm them all with Cool Spray?
Envy started a lot of weird things, so I couldn't say for sure. I can't remember.
I miss him.
Yeah, but it could be him. I just remember a lot of supports doing that for their offlaners. So, you know, well, sometimes back in the day, anyone could be very useful.
Yeah, the good old days. Lelis, bit of a chase onto moves down at bot lane. Tag team activated, won't really have the damage, but he's just trading harassment here. But Moose, he's a Giga Chad. He's just standing his ground. Confident with the Fade Bolt damage reduction that he can fight back and eventually does back his way out, but it feels like Moose came out on top of that exchange. Lelis forced to back away.
Look at Yamson.
Meanwhile, Yamson, he's going to intervene. The Rubik now maybe going a bit too far. And well, as I say, he came out on top. Moose is going to drop. Lelis does secure the kill. And well, it turns out he didn't come out on top.
Yeah, sneaky little SF rotating from behind. He first pushed in the lane, rotated in, killed off the Rubik, helped out his Tusk friend. Nicely done. At the same time as Rubik, you rotate mid, right? Like you refill that bottle. You make use of your death, so not the worst thing.
Husky, top lane. Tombstone drop, stun should land. DNM waiting to literally the last half a second though. Husky still able to get the tether away. Moo with a very nice position to allow the escape, and well, that's gonna hurt for 5RAT. Like they dropped the Tombstone once again. So close yet so far.
It hurts, but yeah, Alchemist isn't losing anything. Like I think it's still net win for 5RAT on this top lane. Like they aren't completely dominating and making Doom not farm, but they're getting everything.
Bottom, Snowball gonna save Yamson at least for now, though Speed still looking to try and keep the fight going, though they will try to turn onto Moose now. Moose gets hit by the raise, does go down. Lelis able to secure the kill onto the Rubik, and sadly they are unable to find Yamson. He will survive for another day, though he is quite low in HP, but he's got some stick charges if he really needs it.
Top lane.
They are gonna make the jump in, but Moose, or rather Moo and Husky, both gonna be fine to walk out. DNM was the one being chased down anyway as Moo. He'll go for a little bit more, but ultimately will back himself out.
Gunner.
Meanwhile, mid lane, Red now going to get jumped here by Gunner, but there is going to be a rotation in from Moo. Still a nice remnant away. It's Gunner feeling himself already on the Ember, trying to get aggressive. Avoids the split out that was incoming from Red,
Yeah,
but that will reveal that there is a ward.
I feel like he's starting his shenanigans already. He's already diving 2 heroes. Like last game, he did the same thing to a Rubik, to a Lash. The same combo, and then he died.
I mean, do you remember when you were young and you used to be able to do that? You know, just dive anyone you wanted?
I don't remember anymore.
Oh, Moo getting very low top lane.
What's up with all of this? Like, do you remember when you were young and calling Fear old man? Like, we need to set different standards in this game. Like,
I mean, Fear is old.
That's not old. He's 35.
That's old. I mean, come on. Yeah, I mean, he's you know, he's just about to fall over that bloke. He's old.
I just imagined the dude back in the green room, like shedding a tear. I'm trying to protect him. He's like, he is old. His time it has passed.
I mean, at least he won the TI. Only one, but he got one in the end, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's one though. It's not
Do you think he still remembers?
Probably not, let's be honest. Moo, gonna go for a bit of a chase onto DNM. There is gonna be a stun channeled up by DNM, but ultimately he should be okay, though they are going for the dive in perhaps, and in fact they are. Moo not gonna stop with the Scorched Earth, and the tether movement speed has plenty just chased down DNM.
They have the speed aura, man.
They have the speed aura, of course they do.
They're playing versus speed, they have speed aura, like...
That's fast.
That's very fast, yeah.
Giant, he's going to experience it now himself, but they don't have Scorched Earth for another 4 seconds, and they'll leave him be.
That's actually so sick. The movement speed that they get from the aura, like 12%, it's quite significant in these chases.
It certainly is. I just felt like there was no chance of escaping, as we might see it right now. Moo running at 465 movement speed at the moment.
Ah, he lost it. He lost the tether.
Unlucky. He's going to be okay to back himself out. Meanwhile, mid lane, Moose trying to set up onto Gunnar.
There's bottom lane action as well.
Oh, there is too. Lelis, he's going to be chased down on the task. Onslaught going to connect, and Speed able to secure the kill. Speed already handing out tips now towards Lelis as well.
He's mad. He's mad after that first game. I don't blame him. And he might even be able to secure this tier 1 tower on his own. Like no one is rotating in to defend.
I'll tell you, that's one thing you don't get to see from Speed very often. Like, he's not the kind of guy to tip. So you might be right. He may actually just be mad after that first game. They might even chase down Yamson here, but Moo's unable to keep up on the Rubik. He's going to have to watch him walk away. But like you said, like, they could just go after the bottom tier 1 tower, and Speed, he can basically do it on his own.
Yeah, so far he's taken down like the majority of the tower, 80%. Here comes Red 2, you know, secure the tower.
Top lane, Doom was committed, but the Chemical Rage came off in time, so they won't bother chasing. Like, he's just now too tanky to deal with.
An ult for an ult.
That's true.
Yeah, one is 145 seconds cooldown. The other not quite as much.
Not quite an even trade, that's for sure. The TPs do come in. Speed with the onslaught right onto Husky, though. A nice tether away is going to allow him out for now, but not for long. Giant able to secure the killer's move. He will continue running, but the zombie will chase him down as well as the rest of 5RATFORCESTAFF. They'll land a stun. Lelis, Shards is out, blocking the way, but they have the pulverize from Speed.
Nice attempt from the shards, even though those shards, I believe, blocked him on the stairs, so he wouldn't be able to get up. I respect the idea. I feel like this time around, nouns are struggling a bit to capitalize on these early game movements. Like, they have to wait for Gunnar or play with him. If you remember the last game, like it was Yamson that rotated mid. They took the tier 1 tower very early on, activated Gunnar, and then he was just everywhere on the map. Right now, he's kind of bound to that mid lane. Hasn't made any big rotations or any rotations at all.
Certainly has not. Top lane, Speed. This is a bit of a rotation coming up from the rest of Nouns. Speed, currently the highest net worth on the board. He's going to be able to onslaught away, and they just can't stop him. They don't have any stuns left. That's kind of the thing. Like, you can't really rely on Infernal Blade to cancel onslaught. It's not very reliable.
Yeah, they need to really think about the way they use their disables.
Still, T1 mid tower is dropping. Lift is there. Looks like they have found Gunnar for now, but Gunnar still able to just get a remnant out. Should be fine to just walk away from this, and will. Speed unable to ever get the pulverize off.
Nice attempt from 5RATs. Like, they let him take down that tower so low that he's thinking, okay, I'm able to do it, and then they pounce with the Rubik, with the Primal Beast. Unfortunately for them, Ion and Doom were on point too. Like, they connected. They rescued the Ember. I mean, he was gonna die if they weren't there.
Absolutely. Still 1k advantage the way of 5RAT, so not all is lost yet. 5RAT looking for Yamson down on the bottom side of the map, chasing him down with his smoke, but eventually just gonna let him go. Meanwhile, top lane, Mood is gonna secure the top tier 1 tower along with Gunnar and Husky.
And not sure why they're not perhaps pressuring the mid lane a little bit sooner with Red 2. Like, last game he was on point. He did die a couple of times doing that, but I believe they're in a much better position this time around. Like,
well, they're gonna try now. Glyph is forced. Diabolic was popped here by Red. Lelis is gonna show up on the task, but he needs a bit more help than that. Pings are out. They know Red's in the tree line somewhere. The tier 1 very, very low now, but Gunnar's gonna show up on the Ember and see if they want to keep going. Little bounty rune there from Husky. That trusty shovel, just digging it up, allowing the bottle refill for Gunnar. Still Red 2 not giving up, gonna go back into the tree line, does find the tier 1 tower in the end. And that'll be about it. I mean, they're just trying to buy more and more time for their Alchemist to be farmed up. And I suppose as long as DNM's hitting creeps, you're still happy with the state of this game as 5RAT.
yeah, you are. Like, you've just taken the tier 1 tower. The Alchemist is finding his item progression as well. I believe he has the relic already. Yep, he does. So he is going for that Radiance. I'm so shocked. But yeah, he gets the Radiance, BKB Blink, and you're kind of ready to fight. If you're 5RATs, I think their power spikes and the way they can play this game is way different than that last. That's mostly because of their position 1 and the offlane.
Well, there's the Radiance now. And I'm going to really be able to escalate and farm at this point. Like, what do you think the big difference is with this Radiance pickup, right? Because like we had the patch, and I believe the
Cheaper, right?
just cheaper overall.
Yeah, but it's quite cheaper. It's not like a little bit. It's significant.
Right.
Like an item that accelerates your farming being this cheaper, like it's a huge deal.
This is a huge deal as well. They're going to find Gunner on the Ember, and the relocate play was not there in time from Husky. Could not react fast enough, so 5RAT able to pick up the kill onto the mid-Ember, and that's a big one. And of course, Husky, he has to come back as well. They'll just patiently wait for the IO. And there you go. Husky, he's not even going to move. He knows he's just dead. Won't even bother trying.
He didn't try the EGM TP. Was it EGM or Ake that did that? EGM, right?
I think it was EGM.
Yeah, it was EGM, yeah. Good times. I saw that and then I tested it for like a week after.
Yeah.
And then I gave up. I'm like, okay, I have Bosnian internet. I should just stop trying.
Yeah, not easy. That's for sure.
Eastern European internet trying to TP out of relocate, yeah.
Oh, well. 3-7, 14.5 minutes in. Looks like Mu is looking top lane once again for DNM, but not going to be able to break the distance. So, you don't really want to commit Doom and just, get Chemical Rage out anyway. You'd rather not have that happen again if you are Mu. Instead, now, they're going to smoke up with 2. Yamsun smoked up on the SF, going to head towards the bottom lane because they do find speed on the Primal Beast.
Doesn't have that BKB, actually. He's so damn close.
He is, but not close enough. Does get caught out by the Walrus Punch and the Requiem.
It's always like that, isn't it, in life?
It really is.
You get so close, you overcommit, and then you get punished for that. Like, he's, 130 gold away? He was 20 gold away, actually, before he died.
That's rough.
Yeah.
20 gold. Well, he'll respawn soon. He'll be alright.
Yeah, I was just thinking, like, if you look at nouns right now, they don't really have very good combos for getting kills. Like, even if you doom someone, it's not that easy. Like, Io is playing with the doom. I'm feeling maybe if you played with the SF, you doom or you chain with Ember and then you relocate with the SF, you have enough burst damage. Like this, it's kind of hard to play the game on the side of nouns.
Certainly feels that way. Red. Broken smoke. Lift is there on Gunner, but he's still just going to be able to remnant out. Does find himself a very nice regen rune as well on the Ember. We'll put that in the old bottle. The Nouns seem to be more than happy to just slow play this game. Like, even against the Alchemist, they're not really concerned about the escalating farm that they are finding, as now Moo's going to get caught out here on the Rubik. On the staircase, sharded up by Lelis, is just going to drop. Gunner able to pick up another.
I've seen many teams that were all right with Alchemist farming.
Speed. Pulverize was there, but relocate is there as well. Husky, he might just come back and die for this, but I say that. Gunner is showing up on the
He's got BKB
Ember.
now. Doom has BKB. They can't take this fight on the side of Rats.
And they may try to. Gunner does show up. Onto the Undying they go. Giant, the first target, as now the Doom does fly out, but there's an onslaught. Gunner's gone. Speed does catch him out. Husky's gone a boot. The BKB, it's only going to be used to TP away from Mu.
Yeah, I said like they can't take the fight, and I'm thinking, why not? Like yeah, sure, there's a BKB on Doom, but so what? There's Undying with Tombstone on the high ground. There is a ton of damage coming from the Alchemist with the Radiance. By the way, that same Alchemist has a BKB now. Your Primal Beast has a BKB. Like, yeah, I don't know what the plan was, but letting this Alchemist farm so much probably wasn't the greatest idea. We'll see. Maybe Nouns have something in store with us, for us with this SF.
I mean, you'd hope so. Like, Yamsun is still just freely farming up on the SF, but naturally can't really keep up the best in terms of net worth against an Alchemist, of all things.
There aren't many heroes that can,
No.
if any, so...
We'll see, though. I mean, Yamsun maybe just believes that the hero, like the 1v1 matchup between the SF and Alch just favors him on the SF.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's true. Ember just cleaves Undying in two with that one hit.
Certainly did. As now they're going to run into Speed. Gunner able to pick up the Invis Room, but Pulverize is out. Chain's available on moves as well, locking him down even longer, but they have the Io to heal him up. Here comes Red though with the follow-up stun, but Gunner, he is still alive. Husky providing way too much heal on the Io. As long as he's around, you just can't deal with him.
Yeah, they don't have Doom though, right? So without the Doom, they couldn't really counterattack. They couldn't really make any plays there. You're also waiting for Yamsen's BKB. Meanwhile, if you're 5RATFORCESTAFF, you could force, like, there are two options. You force an objective like this rush, or you wait for the blink on Alchemist to set up things.
Well, they'll choose Roshan.
Yeah, because why not? Like, they can't really fight you. I believe that 5RATs are stronger at the moment, especially around the pit. But, yeah, it looks like nouns won't even try and contest that.
No, certainly not. Roshan going to go freely the way of 5RATFORCESTAFF, and it's a pretty massive pickup for them.
I was thinking maybe Gunner goes in, he tries with some slide to fist, right, and stuff like that, but he decides not to. And this time, he has switched up his item build a little bit, so he's going for that Mage Slayer. I believe it was Maelstrom into Linken's last match.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you are correct on that.
Yeah, because he was also playing versus Dragon Knight, he needed that Linken's. Make sure he doesn't feed in the mid game, but Mage Slayer this time around also pretty damn solid versus the Lashrak.
It's kind of ridiculous. Like you pop a Slider Fist and basically everyone on the other side does 35% less magic damage. Not very fun to play against as 5RATers. Well, DNM's going to stun himself here on the Alchemist, trying to set up for his team, but can't quite do so.
He's just farming.
Right.
You know, there's that self AoE damage.
Of course.
That's what he's doing.
Does have to blink up as well on the Arc, like, to set up for his team later on.
Yeah. I feel like his timing is already here. They can take any fight.
Well, they're trying.
Yeah, they're trying. With the Lash Aegis, like, you just start pushing objectives one after another. You force these real rats on the side of nouns to fight.
You do have a blink up now on Mu as well, though, so you do have a nice way of initiating for that Doom. Mind you, he doesn't have the old Centaur Stomp, so he doesn't have that nice stun. No, he does now. He literally just finds it as I was saying that. So War Stomp is now available on Mu, so he can set up with a very nice stun. In fact, here we go. Speed gets caught out mid lane. They do commit the Doom immediately, and Speed will get punished. Though his team can still just freely push through the bot tier 2 tower. But now it seems like they will attempt to pressure the mid tier 2 instead.
The mid tier 2, the top as well, is being pressured by Gunner. He already got 50% off to the tier 2 tower. Like they're making the right plays and they're reading the game. Fear said it correctly, like the panel in general. It's nouns that are just on point. Like when it comes to the strategic approach to the game, they're a bit faster. Even though their draft does not look that great, they're making all these small little movements to gain advantage.
Bottom side, they have got the Undying. Oh, Giant, he gets denied off by a neutral creep. Cause the damn thunderclap, man. So annoying when you're in the laning stage, but now it actually saves Giant and denies him off.
He gave him just that one little clap with the Ursa.
Very, very nice. Meanwhile, Red's just pushing in the mid wave. Does get rid of the creep wave, but won't stick around for the tier 2 tower. Seems like he is going to go back towards his team and group up a little bit. But 5RAT, you kind of wonder how far they can push this. Like, they still have the Aegis up. They are going to still rotate, find a double damage rune for themselves, but where are they headed is the question. They've still got 2 minutes on this Aegis. Surely they get something else.
I feel like they're lost a little bit with the way they're drawing on the map. It's a mess. And the way they're moving as well, it's like... we're trying to take the tier 1 on top lane, now we're moving down bottom, even though there's no tier 2 on the bottom lane. Now we're drawing towards IO and Doom and Gunner. Maybe just take the tier 2 tower mid lane. Maybe that's an option.
Perhaps it is. I mean, Red does show up to clear the creep wave, but they aren't committing.
Yeah, they're moving away again. They're losing a lot of their time. Like, I think they're losing a little bit of their momentum. At the same time, it's not bad. Like, you have an Alchemist, he's still farming, it's still completely fine. Like, he can get that AC, mitigate some of the aura that the SF is bringing to the game, so they're in no particular rush at the moment.
Well, they certainly are taking their time. TP's out in the mid lane, nobody going to get caught out there from nouns. DNM just continuing the farm game, like you said, probably looking towards the AC now.
Probably. We'll see. Like,
yeah.
He still didn't really commit into anything. 3.5k gold.
And 5RAT, they're probably just going to let the Aegis expire at this point. Like 37 seconds left. Not too much time here for the Leshrac to try and use this again.
And this IO taunt makes me think he's relocating every time. Just makes a sound as IO, you know.
Yeah.
Entering the portal sound. And there we go. Called it.
Where are they headed though? Bottom lane. Just push out the creep wave. Just make sure they can't keep these waves forced in.
Like, you see the way nouns are playing.
Oh, Gunnar. Pulverize is there. They've got the Ember at the very least. Onslaught to make sure he gets locked down, and Gunnar does go down. But it does feel like you're spending the whole game just chasing heroes from nouns. So like you eventually find the Ember, but it feels like nouns are just
Red
buying
too,
more
mid
time.
lane.
In fact, Red does get caught out mid lane, and suddenly they find an even trade for themselves.
Yeah, you get that haste, you feel invincible, you get doomed, it gets dispelled off. Easy pick off for nouns.
And this is really becoming detrimental for 5RAT now, because sure, you've got an Alchemist farm. Like, we get it. The Alchemist is doing his thing, but I don't know. Like, now they've been playing very slowly the whole game. It seems like they've got a game plan.
Look at the net worth of Alchemist. Look at the net worth of the whole team. They're only 3k ahead. And that 3k is basically in the Alchemist. So they're not necessarily taking the full advantage of him. And he didn't go for the AC, he got SNY. So another thing that, I mean, it's all right. It's not that bad. I would have preferred the AC, but this is good too.
I mean, I guess the status was especially pretty good against the Requiem Fear, right? Like, you'd rather not spend the whole team fight just running away.
Exactly. I just want them to... I wanted them to utilize that advantage earlier.
Oh, jump in again. Gunnar getting pulverized up, but a snowball may have saved his life, and it seems like it has, because Gunnar, he can now fight back. Moose is already gone. They even found Giant. And the only person they lost is Lelis. The Tusk goes down, but you found 2 supports for your trouble. And again, this is where I kind of go back to 5RAT. It's like, they're great at laning stage. You get into the mid game, they're doing fine, but once you get into the later half of the mid game and into the late game, it seems like they start to look a little bit lost. Like they're
undecisive, I would say, right? Like when they had that Aegis, they didn't really pressure the map. They didn't really close it. They had Aegis on Lash and Blink BKB Radiance on Alchemist. I feel like that's your ultimate power spike, your ultimate timing in this match. With that, you could have literally taken at least 2 more towers, tier 2 on the mid lane and tier 1 on top.
Yeah.
But they were just trying to constantly... You know what the weirdest thing for me? Nouns was playing how they should be playing versus a team that's stronger versus them at that point. They were trying to split push, relocate on the side lanes of the map and stuff like that, like ratting basically. Meanwhile, 5RATs, they weren't even doing anything against that. Like they weren't really... They weren't really pressuring. They weren't even forcing that kind of movement.
Moose, nice pick up. Does get the lift off onto Gunnar, but Gunnar doing so much damage, and Moo jumps right in. Doom is out. They've got Speed with the Doom. Speed's gonna try and go for a run as Moo. His BKB about to wear off. How do you get out of this, sir? Looks like he will be the one to go down. And Speed looking for a Soul Rip does get it from Giant, so he's barely gonna survive. Just in the nick of time.
A relocate as well. One more.
Uh-oh. Well, there's another. Husky trying to save his brother is off lane. Won't be able to do so. So a bit of a win here for 5RAT. But I ask you the same question. What are they going to be able to get with this win?
Well, this time around, Roshan is back up. There's no Doom for 100 seconds, so maybe you can think about doing that. Think about going into the pit. Or you can wait the AC first. We'll see what they opt to go for. Flash, mid lane.
Yeah, gonna get caught out. Red, gonna try to run. Fear is there from Yamsun, but he's still a very, very fast left frac. It's gonna be okay to back off as now Gunnar. May get lifted up by Moose, but not quite. Unable to get within the range to pick him up. They do at least take the Fire Remnants away from the Ember, so you do have that kind of extra mobility now on Moose to set up for his team if he needs to. And with that 5RAT, I mean, it's kind of like you said, it seems like they are going to wait for the AC build up here onto DNM. Though Nouns, they do not want to wait for that. They are going to group up. 3-man smoke through the mid lane.
And there's a blink on Tusk, so you can perhaps set things up with him or the Doom.
Can they find the side of 5RAT? Like, it's kind of hard to move up to that high ground. They've got the vision.
You can see the way they're drawing on the map. They know, they kind of understand where 5RATs are gonna move. It's one of those positions in the game in which you're just kind of flipping. You go on the enemy side of the high ground, they go on yours, you wait each other out.
Well, they're trading T2 towers now. Glyph's going to be forced out from the dire end of things. 5RAT, they are going to back off again. They'll go for a 5-man smoke, try to head for the fight. Thing is, nouns have wards around this area, so they've got the vision advantage. 5RAT, I don't know if they really want to fight this. Speed's going to make the jump in. He has already found the tusk, but Husky again saving the day, allowing the snowball, but now Husky's in trouble. Yamsun, he'll get the Requiem off. A decent chance, but they still will lose the tusk, but in goes Moo with a 3-man stun. They're going to find Red. They're going to find Giant. Who else can they get? DNM forced to run away as he has been doomed up in Speed. Speed is still trying to blink out. Is going to be all right. How does Nouns win that team fight?
Well, they had 2 buybacks, right? Like I believe, yeah, Io and Lelis, both of them buying back, saving Yamsun. He was on the high ground. You couldn't really hit the SF. He was also ice sharded out. So he was literally a beast. The Doom did go off on Alchemist that was already BKB'd and ultied, so it didn't really do a ton. But it did pretty much force Alchemist out. So I didn't expect Nouns to just win that fight as cleanly as they have.
It seemed a lot cleaner than it should have been, really. Moo had a very nice jump in. Husky obviously proving to be very annoying as well on this IO. Like that Holy Locker mech build-up just so darn annoying to play against. And yeah, I mean, the thing is with DNM, like, once you pop the Doom on the Arc, it feels like his impact goes down to 0. Like, it just can't do anything.
I mean, is that true though? Like, you have Radiance, you have AC. I guess, yeah. With the ulti, you're not really hitting that hard.
It's the thing, like, last team fight, he got doomed while he was BKB'd and popped Chemical Rage, but he didn't want to fight. He just ran, left his team behind, and you kind of wonder, like, it does seem like in those kind of instances, it's probably worth sticking with your team and trying to fight it out. Though he does not do so.
Yep.
Now they're grouped up bot side, but again, it's like, well, what's the plan, boys?
Maybe just some miscommunication in that fight as well. The plan is Rubik has stolen Doom, so maybe you can make a play off of that. Maybe they're unaware. If you get that Doom on Ember, it's a damn easy kill. But you need to do it fast. You are playing versus an IO with a relocate. That's a full Scuddy now on SF.
Oh, that's a problem. Like for the Alchemist now, all that regen suddenly goes down to nothing, and
yeah, it's the regen, it's the kiting as well. It's just
real rough. They immediately smoke up now. They know exactly where they are. 5RAT, they are still waiting to get this Doom off, and they may find Gunner. Gunner is going to bait for his team, perhaps. Right underneath that creep wave. 5RAT still so patient. There's the Doom out. They finally found the Emperor. Can they take him out in time? It seems like they probably can, but Moo's going to jump in. He's going to try and start the team fight. Gunner buys back immediately on the Ember. They've already got DNM down. The Arc just completely melts in the middle of all this. This Giant, well, Giant will be chased down as well. He just drops. And this Alchemist, I don't know how many shots it took Yamsun, but it did not take very long.
Yeah, he's melting. Even with the AC that he purchased, it doesn't really matter. It's not that Alchemist doesn't have a lot of farm. He's decent. It's just that SF has way too much at this point. Like the Silver Edge crits with the Scuddy. It's kind of disgusting. I don't know, like 5RATs in the first game, that draft definitely had a couple of issues. Like they couldn't really utilize on their advantage, like capitalize on their advantage. But this time around, I think they just had everything they needed, but just didn't play the draft properly. Missed a couple of crucial timings.
Sadly, that's what seemed to have happened in 2-1 as well. Like, it seems like this team improves often enough, but it's just laning stage is great, but once you get into the mid game, it seems like there's a lacking of a.
I feel like there were too many ideas.
Too many ideas. Oh, that's a nice way to put it.
Like you saw the drawing on the map as well. Like go top, go bottom, go mid lane, something. Like there are circles everywhere.
And now they missed the stun. Moo's not lifting him backwards, so bit of miscommunication there between the POS 4 and the Leshrac. Keep in mind, these guys did have quite a few roster changes here on the side of 5RAT, so communication issues could be a thing. And well, you just kind of mentioned maybe too many game plans here from the side of 5RAT this game.
Yeah, completely understandable when you change your teammates.
Yeah. Now Nouns just patiently waiting for the next opportunity, but only a very, very slight net worth lead the way of 5RATFORCESTAFF. Less than 1k. Yamsun just patiently waiting with the Silver Edge, but can't really run high ground. Or maybe he can. Even with the Sentry Ward there, he just doesn't seem to care. So they do jump in. Moo is out onto speed, though does get lifted up by Moose, but has the BKB available into the Requiem now. Still DNM, gonna jump in on his own, trying to go after the Tusk, but the IO, again gonna save but no Lelis. He will go down, no snowball in time. Still Speed, Speed, where's he going? Speed is down. They even lost Moose on the Rubik. Giant.
There's no BKB on SF. Maybe Alchemist can jump in.
I mean, maybe. They're going to try, but they've got to try for Husky, and he's been doomed up on the Alchemist. This is not looking too good. Buybacks are bound. They're going to keep trying to go for this team fight. Moose might drop and does. And that should force Nouns back after the bottom racks.
Yeah, 3 buybacks. They catch the IO in the end.
Pulverize is out. They're still trying for Husky. Again, this IO has been so detrimental to the side of 5RAT. It's proving to be such a nuisance.
Yeah, they need to be careful with how far they chase because... yeah, there is no buyback.
Well, they get Husky at the least. They're still trying for Gunner. Onslaught is not going to connect. Gunner gets the chains off. Has an Invis rune to pick up, though Red is going to stun him up nicely, but he has the Aeon Disc as well. Pops the Invis, just goes for a run, trying to juke them out into the Roshan pit, but they do get him. They do find him. He was underneath the Sentry Ward. And so you get some nice kills there.
You get some amazing kills. Like you lost the side, but that's 100 seconds without the Ember.
Massive.
Yeah, just step aside and push. Like you have Red with the Edict. You have the tier 2 exposed on the mid lane right now. I really want to see them decisive at the moment. I really want them to go high ground, make something happen until Ember respawns. This is your opportunity.
It absolutely is, and considering they committed 3 buybacks as well, like, you need to get something. Yamsun, though, big Requiem out. Red's already been caught on the Leshrac, and he can't survive it. Oh, boy. Speed, maybe they can kill the SF. Massive pickup, Requiem stolen by Moose. They will take him out, but he does have buyback if he needs it. So they go for a little bit more, but Lelis able to avoid the split earth. Yamsun did commit the buyback to try and reinitiate into this. Lelis still going, but it seems like Yamsun proving to be very careful now, not wanting to die back while his Ember's down for another 35.
Yeah, he should definitely be more careful now. Like, you bought back, but so did Lesh. This game just became much more interesting, I would say, than it was 5 minutes ago. Was it off of a couple of mistakes, perhaps, but who cares?
Yeah.
It's better now. Like, there's no buyback on Lesh, there's no buyback on SF. Like, anything can happen.
It's all about the entertainment, Lizard. Who the hell cares if these pros make mistakes? It's all about the fun.
It always is, right? Like, we love to see some carnage in games, in any game, in any sport.
Absolutely. Let there be blood. Snout.
Wait now.
They are grouping up again. I mean, now they know the buyback was committed by Red, so if you get the Leshrac one more time, he's down for 100 plus seconds, and
Yamsun?
show himself in the mid lane, but he's still safe by his team. I think the thing is, as long as they know Husky's around, they practically know they can't die. That's the way I'm kind of looking at this.
Yeah, there's no real burst without the Alchemist, right? Like, and even he didn't go for the most bursty item build, so you should be able to survive no matter what happens. Like, there's Holy Locket, there's Mac, there's Glimmer Cape as well.
That was the overwhelming blink recipe going down the toilet there, Lizard. That's not the greatest feeling. So that'll be down for quite a few minutes now for the Alchemist. 3 minutes to be exact.
Yeah, that's a rough one. He didn't purchase the Reaver though, right?
No.
Yeah, just move into a different item. You know?
Hard time, boys. We'll see what DNM wants to do. I mean, maybe you just drag it out, wait the next 3 minutes. I'm sure they can get away with that. Tier 4 items are spawning up anyway.
Realistically, you're an alchemist. Like, you have 3 minutes until the courier respawns. You can buy something else and then later on
Right.
go back into the overwhelming.
We'll see what he wants to do. Like, for now, Nouns have actually got the net worth lead their way. Very, very slightly. Less than 1k net worth. But considering you are up against an Alchemist, that kind of goes to show you the state of the game right now. This is not the kind of position an Alchemist wants to be in.
Yeah, statistically, being behind with an Alchemist position 1, it's not that good for the team with an Alchemist.
No. Stats by Lizard. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I've just checked these stats. The numbers, they don't lie.
No.
I'm looking at the bottom of my coffee cup and I see it. Like, can you read the coffee mug? It says, yeah, the stats do not lie.
Thank you for that, Lizard. 5RAT, they've smoked up as 5. Gunner is around the area. They will see him in the mid lane, but they aren't going to make the jump in quite yet. Keep in mind, Gunner does not have buyback for another 30 seconds, and
they have a creep wave on bottom lane. They have to deal with.
Oh, that's rough.
It's just being pushed in. Mid lane is being pushed in as well. That's something they're not really doing that great on 5RATs.
Yeah, but Roshan just spawned up. Like, they can't really let this go down. Thing is, they can't fight without Red either. And Red, he's running back the old-fashioned way. He's quite fast, to be fair. Problem is, though, Roshan is going down even faster. But it is going to be left for now. Half HP is where Roshan's been left at. Nouns not willing to risk it again. There's not many buybacks available for either side at the moment. Really, the only ones that matter right now is the fact that DNM and Moo have a buyback. Nobody else really matters. I mean, Lelis does have one, but you know, it's a task.
Yeah, usually, what you want to do before you take rush is you push out one of these side lanes so that the enemy cores need to go back, defend. Right now, for Nouns, the creeps are doing that job. You see this opportunity Red is showing.
Oh, Moose. They're getting caught out, trying to lift his way out of the Roshan pit, but does go down.
It's basically Red. Like, he shows the moment you see him defending that tower on the bot lane, he's too far. So you go in for the kill or for rush. Doesn't matter.
And there goes Roshan, very, very quickly dropping. No contest. All items picked up by Yamsun. And he gets away with all of it.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's like split push 101. In order for 5RATs to play this, they needed to push the bottom lane a little bit further.
Yeah.
Like, it's not only one wave that's in your base and then you're done. No. You need to go push one more extra.
Thing is now as well, you're dealing with an Ags Ember. Like, it's... You lost the Aegis, you lost the cheese. The cheese and the item make matters worse. Like, Husky's just not going to let anyone die. You've got an Ags Ember. Yeah, this is where Ember just seems so ridiculous with this upgrade. And now even a Shiver's Guard coming out on Moose, so even less health regen coming out for the Alk.
And the Lash as well, remember.
Right.
There's the Bloodstone, so he's ranged. Being hit by Skadi from the SF is absolutely no fun. Abysmal. Like, you can't really run into the SF as well as Lash. You don't have a BKB. Even with the BKB, it wouldn't really matter. He just chew right through you.
Very tough position here for 5RAT. Now 7k behind. It's not what you want to see if you are a 5RAT fan.
They built only 2 4-staffs this time around. Or maybe even 1.
True.
No, 2. The Primal Beast and the Rubik. Last game they were role-playing much better. They had 4 4-staffs.
At least Speed sticks to it.
Yeah, Speed definitely sticks to the 4-staff. He's a real man of culture.
Certainly so. But now it's looking to try and push high ground once again. They are taking this one rather slow. Not willing to kind of throw the game back the way of 5RAT if they can avoid it. Of course, Gunner, he did spend all his gold again, so he doesn't have buyback gold available in the Ember right now. But jump in is there, lift is up. They do get the Split Earth onto the SF. Yamsun may get blown up here. In fact, it's a lot of damage being pumped out, but BKB, oh, he goes down. Husky was not there to save him. No BKB available now on the SF, so he might just drop again, but no, the cheese and the relocate. He's going to be all right. Husky barely saves the day.
Will they fight here? They will, right? Like,
can you?
Yeah. Or you just defend the SF.
Lift is up. They've got Husky on the IO. Looks like they're just going to let him go. Meanwhile, Speed, though, does get a nice pulverize off, but Walrus Punch is going to be there to cancel that off. And in fact, Speed's going to be left alone.
He has no buyback.
He does not. So Gunner's going to make the jump in. Gets a double chains off, but maybe he's going too far, but he'll just go even further. He doesn't care. He's got the Ags up, so he's just fine.
I feel like what happened there in the relocate is one of those things that happen to IO players sometimes. Like he tried to relocate instantly. He tried to tether instantly after the relocate, but he tethered on the same millisecond, so SF got picked up with him.
Oh, whoops.
And Jamson was like, yo, I don't want to be here, man. Cheers.
Well, luckily for them, Speed gave them an exit gift by handing his own life away. DNM may have handed his own life away as he gets duped up and immediately gets bursted down. All right, now the game's looking really rough for the side of 5RAT. So they just jump in. Gunner still needs a way out. Does Remnant away once again, and he's going to be just fine. They're more than happy with the buyback being committed by DNM. And it seems like they can just stick around. Gunner's going to go for a reset back at the fountain.
Yeah, maybe they're thinking, yeah, they don't expect it. We can go in once again. But this smoke should be kind of obvious as they moved through the creeps. They AoE'd them.
But they've got a side device. Red is going to use that Hex up onto the SF. DNM going to jump in right behind, but there's the snowball and there's Husky again. Yamsun going to turn right back around with the BKB. At least the 4-star. It will save Red for now, but for how long? Or more so Yamsun, or rather DNM. DNM's gone. It might be time to call it, boys. It's looking like a rough one. Everyone just dropping an ultra kill for Gunner. Do they want to hand the man a rampage? Let's see. Tips are out for Gunner. He's going to go for the dive in. Moose, Giga Chat, going to hand a rampage over. Still making it hard, but there's your rampage for Gunner. Thank you very much, he says. And that'll be about it. GG is called. They've had enough. 2-0 victory to the side of Nouns. And I mean, for 5RAT, I keep saying the same thing. Like, they're great during the laning stage, Lizard. They seem to be quite strong in the mid game, but afterwards maybe a lack of game plan, maybe too many game plans, as you said it.